Welcome back to the channel where we spotlight Black excellence in film and TV so you don't have to miss some great Black-led roles. Let's get into it. Today we're talking about Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist, a Peacock limited series coming out on September 5th, 2024. A good heist movie or TV show is and can be such a fun ride if done correctly. I still remember seeing the 2001 Ocean's 11 for the first time and loving it, but now after reading this, it doesn't seem like it's going to be the same format as previous heist movies like Ocean's 11, but no matter what, I'm probably going to watch this series. The cast is pretty stacked. But first, what is this series? Why should we be excited for it? Inspired by the critically acclaimed iHeart true crime podcast, this gripping tale plunges into the heart of a legendary night that forever altered the course of Atlanta's history. The year is 1970, and the world is watching as Muhammad Ali makes his triumphant comeback. But as the city celebrates, a one-in-a-million crime unfolds, sending shockwaves through the underworld and beyond. At the center of this explosive story is Chicken Man? Yeah. Played by Kevin Hart, seems like a very appropriate name though, to be honest. Anyways, Chicken Man is a streetwise hustler who throws the ultimate after parties for the nation's elites. What starts as a night of revelry quickly spirals into chaos when the most daring heist in Atlanta's history goes down. With the city reeling, all eyes turn to Chicken Man as the mastermind behind the crime. Determined to clear his name, Chicken Man must navigate a treacherous path filled with old grudges and new enemies. His fate rests in the hands of one J.D. Hobson, played by Don Cheadle, one of Atlanta's first black detectives, who's been tasked with cracking the case open. As the tensions mount, these two formidable men are set on a collision course that will change their past, future, and the very soul of the city now known as Black Mecca. If that doesn't get you a little bit excited, if that doesn't tickle your fancy for this, I don't know what will. Now, I already said that the cast was pretty stacked. You already know about Kevin Hart, Don Cheadle, but there's also Samuel L. Jackson, Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson, Chloe Bailey, Lori Harvey, as well as a few other lesser known up-and-comings. Now, what I'm concerned about with this is, from the trailer alone, it doesn't seem like what I'm thinking about is gonna be what's happening, as in a very Kevin Hart movie. And so what I mean by that is Kevin Hart is the main character, yes, but it doesn't seem like he's going to do his Kevin Hart thing, which I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, which is, make it a little bit too goofy. I'm sure there'll be some jokes and some funny moments within it. I encourage it, but, one of my worries is that it will get too Kevin Hart heavy and just come off as a little too ridiculous and not something to be taken seriously. But it doesn't seem like that's what they're trying to do with the trailer. So if that can be believed, I am thinking more of a Ocean's-like feel in terms of funny. There's some funny moments, but also some serious moments, and it balances pretty well. Something I did find kind of funny was both Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle both played War Machine, and they're starring in this series. Can you imagine those two trading war stories about their time in Marvel? House of Mickey and the horrors that come within. I wonder. They probably don't, but maybe. Now, keep in mind this series is supposedly based on a true story, but I have to admit, digging up details on the actual event was like searching for a needle in a haystack. That said, we all know how true stories in Hollywood often come with a heavy dose of creative embellishment. So, expect a lot of dramatic twists and turns to spice things up. What might have been a more low-key tale will evolve into whatever this is. Still, this looks to be interesting, so I'm gonna watch regardless. If you are curious and want to dive into the original story, at least from the podcast perspective, you can check out the podcast link below. It's called iHeart Podcast. I have not listened to it personally, but if you're into true crime, it might be right up your alley. And here's the kicker: in December 2023, it was announced that Kevin Hart would not only star in, but also executive produce this series, with Peacock giving it a straight-to-series order and bringing in big names like Hart, Howard, and Cheadle. So you can bet that they're banking on this being a pretty big hit. It can't be cheap to afford those aforementioned names. So the stakes are high and the expectations are even higher. So this is coming out September 5th and will be a mini series of about 8 episodes. Craig Brewer was hired to direct the first 2 episodes and the last 2 episodes. So I'm not very familiar with him. Maybe people in the audience, maybe viewers are, but I'm not really familiar with this director or his work. But, you know, he does have a fair amount of credits under his name, so we'll have to see. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this show. Are you into it? Are you waiting for it? I'm excited for it, so hopefully some good things. It's coming soon. September 5th is right around the corner. I can't believe summer's already over. Anyways, with that all being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more.